also about the green movement gathering pace. Back in, of course, 2007, we had Al Gore's An Inconvenient Truth causing waves. Renewable energy, carbon trading and sustainability, the buzzwords. Then, of course, the global financial crisis hit. Everyone's attention diverted to the most severe economic downturn since the Great Depression. Now, while the rhetoric is that the GFC is killing off green products, Richard Milroy, director of the Green Marketing Group, believes that green products and services are more in demand than ever. He joins us now live in the studio, the Green Marketing Forum. Let me get that one right. Now, Richard, you would be spruiking it, though, would you not? I mean, this is all about marketing.
Well, firstly, hi, Carson, and thanks for inviting me on. Yes. The Green Marketing Forum is about developing green products and services, and we're presenting at the conference in Sydney and Melbourne in June a lot of research that does suggest that green products and services are doing well and better than other products and services throughout the downturn. So, for example, there's a big study that's just been released in the States that says that green products and services are actually selling more and have been selling more right through the downturn. In terms of Australian companies, there's an A.T. Kearney report just out that demonstrates pretty clearly that companies that sell green products and services or have a strong commitment to environmental sustainability are performing some 10 to 15% better, and that's in the last 6 months of last year. So there is quite a bit of evidence, but it's not all one-sided. So.
Well, I'm just also wondering, when the rhetoric from government has been to push back its commitments on its green initiatives, I'm talking ETS, how you're getting that upswing in public sentiment. It would seem, if anything, that would have been dented because of those moves.
Sure, but look, when you're starting from a point where 9 in 10 Australians believe that something needs to be done and action needs to be taken on climate change and drought and environmental issues, and that's from surveys, you know, that's from a survey in February, 9 in 10. February this year, and that's been consistent for the last 5-6 years. So that strength of sentiment about something, if you're offering a green product or service to those people and they have a choice of a green product or service or a non-green product or service, and they're similarly priced and they're competitive, then they'll choose the green one. So
that's the issue, though, Richard. It's the similarly priced, and you can't tell me that the eco-friendly washing detergent, which is 3 times the price.
Well, it's not, though.
Well, it is in my supermarket.
Some supermarkets. OK, look, there are many examples. I think that will probably...
Because I look for it.
Right, well, that will probably fail as a marketing campaign.
And it's on the top shelf as well, Richard. It doesn't hit our eye line, Richard. We need to see it on the middle shelf.
That depends. Look, there are plenty of green products and services that are keenly priced. I mean, there are some that are saving people money in this environment. Energy efficiency, solar hot water, and so on. But look, green beer, that's a great example. There was a beer launched last year. At our Green Marketing Forum last year, we presented that. That was Foster's, launched a green beer. That has been getting double-digit sales growth every month since its launch.
But that is priced off a zero base, Richard. Come on, if it's just launched.
But sure. If you go into your bottle shop nowadays, you'll see it right there in the middle. It's one of the best-selling beers at the moment. So it's doing particularly well.
I mean, do people see that with a little bit of cynicism only because it's coming from an established heavyweight play rather than an independent brewer? Well, and they look upon that as being, oh, that's a bit of a clever ploy.
I think the established heavyweight brewer and big companies, I mean, we're talking about Telstra, IBM are presenting at our conference this year, Foster's, you know, obviously the big energy companies.
What's Telstra doing for the green movement?
Well, video conferencing. I mean, there's a big play. I think this is something that's still in development for Telstra, but they're pretty keen on it. So one of their big ideas is really that video conferencing and broadband technologies can help to reduce emissions through reducing travel costs.
But will we not
again, that's saving people money.
Will we not get that, though, till the NBN rollout? Is that kind of, is it the chicken and egg?
Well, it depends what service you're using. It's still possible to do that now. I mean, they set up specialist facilities that you can use in various sites around the country. So.
Because we hear about the politicians and the carbon footprint of a $2 million spend in a month on air travel. You're wondering why they can't go down that route.
But look, Carson, I think the fundamental issue here is that smart companies are positioning themselves for the future. There is a very strong sentiment that has been, you know, last year it was the top priority in the community, climate change. This year it's number 2. So the economy is number 1. But it's still right up there in people's minds. So smart companies are thinking about how they can make something from that sentiment and produce a product or a service that people are going to want, and it's going to give them a competitive. You can't tell me it's not going to give them a competitive
but when
advantage.
you say
it is.
Smart companies,
you said yourself you were looking for the greenwashing.
Yes,
right?
indeed I was. But you've mentioned companies that are the blue chips of the blue chips. In other words, the IBMs, the Telstras. What about the Joe Public companies out there that aren't in that tier? Where's the evidence of smart thinking long term for them?
Well, there are plenty of those. I mentioned those because I want to demonstrate that this is the blue chip companies as well. But there are plenty of, for example, printing companies. My own company uses a printing company that's a green printing company. They are doing much better than a lot of their competitors. They're a small privately held company. So there are plenty of smaller privately held companies who see this as a competitive advantage. There's a supermarket near me that stocks lots of green products and services that's doing very well. Our local white goods retailer, I went in and was asking him about this the other day, and he was telling me that the green stuff is selling best. So, you know, there is a very strong sentiment, and that's what we aim to focus on at the forum, is to look at research. We're not trying to kid ourselves, but we think that this is an opportunity for companies.
Kicks off in Sydney, 29th of June, Melbourne, 1st of July. Richard Milroy, many thanks.
And you can just Google Green Marketing Forum, and it should come up top. You can find out more there.
Easy done. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Charles.
Appreciate it.